Hey, today we're going to be shaving with a Dove Men+Care bar. It's the extra fresh scent. In the ingredients list, it says like sodium tallowate or something, or a palmate. And so I'm guessing, depending on the scent, you might get a tallow soap or a palm oil type soap. Obviously, I don't know which one this is. The blade for today, feather, and we're cranking on some uses on this. Looks like we're going to be doing the 29th shave with this one tonight. We're going to be putting it in the Christopher Bradley from Karve, and this has the A plate in it. This is the 3.5-inch handle. I think the handle looks a little bit long for the razor, but it gives me a better balance than the 3-inch. That was the only one available when this razor came out. The fur today is the Semogue 1305. It's got the premium bristles. Very nice. I've been soaking that for a few hours now, and these are soft bristles, and I'm sure they'll be fine on this bar soap. Let me throw a little bit of water on my face. We had a warm spell, but now we're back to cold, and so our water now is, my water is cold. It is hard water. And so let us see what happens here with the Men+Care bar. The normal Dove soap does lather up pretty well and let you shave with it. I'm just going to hold it in my hand like this to work up during the loading process. I figure we'll do a 40-second load, and we just turned to the 0. I didn't shake out nearly as much water, so maybe we can kind of call this a Marco method, where we're coming at it with a very wet brush. Let's just see what happens. So we're going to go to the 40-second mark, and I'm just basically going back and forth like that on it. Irish Spring does decent. It's not luxurious or creamy. Then you move to Yardley Shea Buttermilk, available at the Dollar Tree. That one's got a nice creamy feel to it. Pear's Glycerin Soap, and that's 40 seconds. Pear's Glycerin Soap is a really nice lather because it's just a glycerin soap. But it doesn't smell all that great, at least the orange looking one that I had access to didn't. Kind of medicinal. Dial. That's the white one and the yellow one. They did okay. Irish Spring was nice because it may not have been creamy, but it had a great scent to it. There's another one called Shugar Soapworks that's available at the Dollar Tree. I grabbed the verbena and something else, and it worked actually well. It's kind of like the Yardley, a nice creamy lather. All right, so we now have our 40 seconds of suds. Let's just see what happens. And this is that zesty scent. It's kind of aquatic. It's probably got a little bit of a floral component to it. Very zesty and fresh. Just going to mix it for a little bit without adding any more water, just to watch it and see how it acts. Yep. Fill up my 2-teaspoon syringe. Put 1 teaspoon in. This bowl has ridges, cool things like that. Brush rest right there. A little lump in the very center to help with agitation, as well as keeping the brush from sinking down into the middle part when you don't want to use the brush rest. It is a 3D printed bowl There will be a link in the description for you to access the files by Roger Quintero, who's the designer. If you have access to a 3D printer. Lather's looking all right so far. A little bit on the bubbly side. That's all right. With a normal shave soap that's not a bar soap like this, 30 seconds is often a good load time. Could be that for this soap I didn't load for quite long enough, but I mean, it kind of looks like I'm doing fine. Now we've got 2 teaspoons in the lather. Now I'm going to show you what the lather looks like with 2 teaspoons in it. Kind of big, and in many cases an appearance like this, being so firm and lots of ridges and points and not very much fluidity, usually means you need to add more water. I'm just going to go ahead and add a whole teaspoon while I'm at it, because I can always go back to the bar and generate some more soap. There does seem to be a little bit of a floral component in here, but it's not one of those like rose or English garden or, you know, something like that. It seems like it's more of the kind of unisex ones that is just providing some body. Something. It reminded me, something in my memory got jolted. The word freesia came to mind. I used to work for a company that did potpourri and things like that. Kinds of scented products. So I'm a little more well versed in that kind of area than your average guy. Sure did come home smelling good every day. My wife loved it. Well, let's show you what the lather is now. I've got 3 teaspoons in the lather here. Volume has increased. It's looking a little bit less pokey and detail and ridgy and all that stuff. Let's feel the slickness here. Hey, that's pretty slick. I do just feel the ridges on my fingerprints. That sure feels like it's going to be a fine shave soap. Let's put in another ½ teaspoon. That may be all we do. Can always add more on my face. It's definitely not gluey. It's kind of the high structure. It's not liquidy. Big old dollop here. Alright, let's just try it out. And pause. Alright, I've done the rinse. Just kind of wetting my face before initial contact with the lather. Looks like I have plenty. So let's see what happens. Initial feel is fairly good. wonder if it needs more water or what. It is nice and slick. All right, let's try it out. Clear the unshaveable area, or area that doesn't need shaving, put it that way. Now I really like my Chris Bradley razor. I like the patina that's developing, but I just saw one online. It had been polished up with some metal polish and a microfiber cloth, and holy cow, it just makes me, but once you polish it up, you can't unpolish it. This is a little grabby. This is not very comfortable. Is it because, I got a feeling it's because of the soap. It's just one day of growth. I might be able to understand if it was 2 days or something, but it's just one. I just don't think the soap is providing. But, you know, this is a feather with this many uses on it. So of course that could be the issue. So maybe tomorrow I might have to use this same razor and blade with a better, more known quality soap. Or just switch to a newer blade. Alright, I bet the second and third pass will be fine. Just in case his lather is maybe a little too wet, I dabbed my face with my towel. Let's just see what happens now. Fairly strong fragrance. I'd say 6 out of 10. Kind of refreshing compared to a lot of the existing artisan soaps out there. Very few of them put their scent this strong. And I get it. Many times when you're shaving, you don't want to overpower yourself. And this is, I could see this being something a person would be happy with in the morning, because it is kind of a very fresh smelling scent. Kind of get you going. Second pass. Working just fine, very smooth, kind of like I said. Comfortable. This is the A plate, which is next to the bottom in terms of smoothness and mildness. So in general, it's a wonderful place to put a feather blade because interesting. Almost like a silky feel on the face, but kind of has a dry sense to it. Almost like the difference between like a normal shave soap is more like oil lubrication on a bike or motorcycle chain, where this almost feels more like graphite or the powdery kind of lubrication that's just a different level. And that slickness has gone away already. So in terms of reserve or residual slickness, this obviously doesn't have very much, but it wasn't made to. It's a hand soap. All right, dried off my face like before. Load up on the soap. Plenty. I'm going to end up with 3 extra passes of lather there, so soap wasn't the issue. Comfortable brush. Really like this guy. So 3 bars of this soap were available at Walmart. Here, my Walmart here recently for $3.50. So obviously, I mean, it is possible to get a good shave from this soap, because it is doing the job of a slickness provider. Good scent to wake you up in the morning. Now, if you could figure out which, maybe if the scent is really what decides whether you get the palmate or the tallow. You could figure out which one it was, then you might get a different performance result from the lather. Yeah, that's 3 passes. All right, let's rinse. So yeah, looks like maybe 2 or 3 passes of lather left over in the bowl. I think I refilled this once, so 3.5 teaspoons of water. Next time I might try backing off the water a little bit, maybe go for, see if a little bit more creaminess was possible. It's also yeah, I think I'd do that. I don't think that I am before the premium hump. I think I'm probably at the top of it or just over it, where adding more water would then dilute it. If I'm before the hump, then adding more water will cause the thinness to thicken up, become creaminess. But I don't think that's where I am right now. Some soaps do kind of travel that hump. They're kind of thin before peak and after peak, and you just have to know the soap and maybe done some trial and error before you know kind of what to expect when. So this is maybe the 9th or 10th use of this brush. It continues to do really, really well. I mean, if everything got blasted in some kind of nuclear explosion and all I had was this brush, I'd be fine. You just got enough backbone to whip up a lather out of pretty much any soap, and it keeps the the tips on my face, but soft enough to really enjoy it. And even if I'm doing some scrubbing on the 3rd pass, I'm not giving any brush burn or anything like that. If the scent on this soap during the lather and shaving process was as strong as it was when I first opened the box and stuck my nose in it, it would probably be a little too much, for me at least. but it wasn't. It was just kind of a nice medium strength, maybe a slightly above that. So it didn't get in my way. I didn't feel overwhelmed or anything like that. So, if you're in a pinch and you need a shaving soap, you could do a lot worse. The Shugar Soapworks and the Yardley Shea Buttermilk, probably some of the other Yardley and Shugar Soapwork scents are probably going to be a little creamier, a little nicer on your face, but this one probably has a better scent, for guys. Something I read about today online. Some people are complaining about the scent of brass razors. And then some people replied about the Christopher Bradley that said they just didn't really detect anything. If I put it under my nose, I can smell it. But I have used this thing 40 times and I've never smelled it before. And so it never was, and of course I've had it here many times, close to my nose. So it was never it never garnered my attention in any way. So if you're one of those people, apparently the few, because I hadn't really heard it mentioned too much, who are may be concerned about the scent, I like the scent. It's a metallic. I mean, that's a manly scent right there. I like it, but I don't smell it unless I get my nose right up on the razor like you're seeing me do. I didn't even know it existed. I didn't know that issue existed. Also, it's been 7-10 minutes since I rinsed this off. Face feels great. Looks like it's got, and I think there were words on here that told about how it's 1/4 moisturizing cream to help fight dryness. So sounds like that's a good property to have for shave soap. For people who might just want to roll or need to roll without throwing on a post-shave product or something like that. Face feels great. I'm very happy with the closeness. I got a nice shave right here. I don't think I saw any length on any hairs, just a few little tips, dots. So it's feeling good. Yeah, really close results. So the feather he may have been rough on that first pass, but he did his job. And the second and third passes were comfortable. Well, there we go. Dove +Care. Dove plus Men. Dove Men+Care. Men+Care from Dove. Hand soap, bar soap, bath soap, whatever. It works. It's shaveable. And it's economical. Smells decent. At my Walmart, there was only the one scent. But, you might be able to get a couple different scents out there. And they're probably pretty decent since they're gauging them specifically to men. So, hey, it works. May not be the greatest, but it's inexpensive and it works. Regarding the roughness, I'll have to eliminate some variables to figure out if it was the blade, the soap, or maybe a combo between the two. So we'll do some more of that next time. So, hey, I hope there was something here for you, and I learned some stuff. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Take care. Good night.